What happened to Alicia Sacramone of the United States happened to you. Falling off 2 apparatus to dim your team's chances of winning a gold medal. Would you be as focused and energized and believing in yourself just 2 days later to try and make something right out of what has been one of the worst memories of Beijing she'll ever have? She's about to compete on the women's vault final here at the National Indoor Stadium.
Okay. Well, you know, one of the things she has said is she has learned to stay in the moment. She's going to have to do that, you know. Throughout her career, she has really struggled at times with self-confidence in training while in Beijing. We saw her having some very rough days where she was balking on some of her vaults. And actually today, in the warm-up for this competition, I saw her balk on a vault, which I really have not seen her do that at crunch time at the meet. Now she got it back together again, but...
And Elfie, starting first, good thing or bad thing for Alicia Sacramone?
Well, typically being up first is not a great thing for Alicia Sacramone. She's the type of athlete who gets pretty jumpy. She warms up and she's typically ready to go. So either way here, she's either ready to go and she's going to hit the vaults of her life, which the judges will need to reward, or she's going to think, I'm up first, not a good spot for me. So she needs to capitalize on this.
She gets introduced here at the stadium, and so does Cheng Fei, who comes in as yet another big gold medal hope for China. And there's something about the entire happenstance of Alicia Sacramone. Last we checked at NBCOlympics.com, the most hits were Michael Phelps, what a shock, and then Alicia Sacramone. So what happened here in warm-up for her?
Well, actually, on one of the vaults where she's going to do first, it's called a handspring front Rudy in a laid-out position. She had warmed up her handspring half, which she always does, and then she just ran down, and like I said, she didn't do the twist that she was planning on doing, but then she got it back together. It was not a problem, but she comes to the table with lower start values than, say, Cheng Fei and a couple other people. So if she is going to do it, she has got to have incredible landings.
And she does have the 3rd highest qualifying score coming into this competition. The other thing to remember is those judges down there know exactly what she's capable of doing. She's experienced. They've watched her for years on the international stage. She has 7 career world medals, and that spans over 3 world championships. They know what she can handle.
Well, she's got a bronze, she's got a silver at world championships, and no gold. Very good vault for Alicia. Definitely a slide on the landing, but actually much more powerful than we saw in the team finals. So she's going to run and gain as much speed as possible. It's all about meeting this table with as much force and then jettisoning your body up in the air. This is the only problem, that hop. And then she actually does another one, which is a little bit scary. I don't know if they will say that she was, or she's going to want them to say that she was just addressing the judges, but it opens it up a little bit.
2 vaults here in the Olympic event finals. The average score of the 2 is what your number will be, a 15.75.
You know, she actually scored 15.85 in the qualifying round on that vault. Better than she did, as I said, in the team finals, but you know, you take those little hops. But this is actually the vault that really hurts her, because it is valued only out of a 5.8. Cheng Fei's vault starts at the same level, a 6.5 for both vaults. So this has got to be perfect. No hops on this one. Good, not great.
And now this Olympic episode is over in 2 quick 6-second bursts.
A vault like this this is great for a team, but in an event final with a start value of 5.8, there are other women in this competition that are doing vaults with 2 start values at 6.5. So as Tim mentioned, she had to be great on the landing, gave that up.
Both Chung Fei and Hong Jung of People's Republic of Korea both have those dual 6.5s.
She gets a 15.325, and then her average is 15.537.
Well, she opened the door in a big way. No question about that.
Now to Chung Fei of China.
And this is not a done deal, though, because she has 2 vaults that are in no way easy for her. She'll start with the same type of vault that Alicia did. It's called a Yurchenko. She'll turn her body around on the board, and she'll leave and do 2.5 twists, which is a half twist more than we just saw Alicia do. Big time.
That's why she's a 3-time world champion.
Absolute picture perfect form and just the smallest hop on the landing. You know, it almost feels like destiny in this building for Team China. They have answered the call time after time. 3-time reigning world champion on this event. Just beautiful gymnastics. Watch the picture perfect form and 2.5 twists, knees pasted together when she lands. It's a great first vault.
When they had the Olympic torch relay to get ready for the Beijing Games, she finally, after 2 years, went home to see the home that had been given to her by the Chinese government and was being lived in by her family. A moment, 16.075. She's on her way.
And remember, her second vault is the same start value, a 6.5. One of only 2 women in the event finals that is doing the same start value.
That was unusual. Yeah. I've never quite seen a gymnast scream like that before. She's going now. The critical thing here, one of the places where she can be deducted, she's going to do a half turn onto the board and then another half turn onto the table. No way.
Could see it right off the board.
And she had problems with this in the warm-up. And so that is a very good thing for Alicia Sacramone.
A little halt in the destiny thought. Where does this vault go wrong?
Well, she really doesn't make good contact on the table. And when she does the half turn from the board to the table, you'll notice that her hands are skewed, which makes it more difficult to get a good rebound. Watch right here, one hand in front of the other, which is a deduction, and also doesn't enable her to get what we call a block off the table, which pushes the body straight up in the air.
Waiting for Chung Fei's score. It's been a very rare sight to see the pressure on for a Chinese gymnast and then them ultimately not come through. But she has been vulnerable in these Olympic Games, and her teammates have picked her up. And Chung Fei gets a 15.05 and goes ahead of Alicia Sacramone to average a 15.562 based on the strength of that very strong first vault. This is the vault final.
The unique virtual technology which you've been enjoying during NBC Olympics coverage is brought to you exclusively by GE, Imagination at Work.
We are still trying to figure out why China's Chung Fei got the score that she did for the landing that she had on the second vault. Meanwhile, total confusion in the world of Anna Pavlova of Russia moments ago. She was given a 0 to average less than 8. What happened?
Well, if you take a look at those judges, one of them has control over when you are allowed to start. And in gymnastics, there is the green light. And if you go before the green light, then you did no exercise, and that is what Anna Pavlova did. As you can see on the left-hand corner of your screen, that is clearly red.
And it's supposed to be green.
That's right.
Boy, what a brain lock.
First time I've ever seen that happen at this level of a competition.
A quick switch now to a much different story. Oksana Chusovitina from Germany is 33 years of age. She proved herself at a world level before many of these young women were even born. We've told you the story of her young son Alisher and how while she was in Russia, they told her they didn't have a bed for him to fix his leukemia. So she put a phone call out to Shana Polyakova, the coach of the German team, and she said, please, we can help you here in Germany. And as payback, she is competing for Germany. This is the sport she loves. And she reached vault final, a feat in and of itself.
Well, a big vault.
Pretty good.
Same thing that we saw from Alicia Sacramone on her vault, her first.
And there is the coach that she called. So really, if you think about it, as we told you in qualification, without gymnastics, who knows what happens to little Alisher? And who knows what happens to him now, in a great way to see what this friendship has meant and for what is capable at an age beyond which most people think this sport is possible. Alisher's leukemia is in remission, and we have seen him bouncing around a gym just like mom.
It's a wonderful scene.
Here's the vault that can cement maybe medal contention.
Wow. Very nicely done. The two best vaults I've seen her put together.
And you know, that vault was a Sukahara vault, very traditional, a vault that she did back in the 90s, early 90s.
You know, she started in the Soviet Union in their powerful system, competed for the unified team in 1992, and then represented Uzbekistan, and finally moved to Germany and competing in these Olympic Games. Wow.
Nice respect from Mihai Brescian and Alicia Sacramone. That's Alicia's coach. And that smile looks like answering that phone call is the best thing I ever did. Yeah, she's getting a little verklempt. This is her 5th Olympics. It's a record. A record for women in the Summer Olympics. They've been sort of celebrating already. Alicia Sacramone looks a little nervous. That's because she's barely hanging on right now. And it's very, very close. What's it going to be? Good news. 15.575. Chusovitina knocks Sacramone to the brink, and she moves into the top spot. Can you believe that? And look at Sacramone. Trails for the gold medal by 0.38 of a point. Oh, those 2 steps on the landing are really looming large now, and the emotions come forth on both ends of the medal story. From the People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, comes Eun Jong-hong. You've been telling me about this vault for a long time.
Yeah, and this is bad news for Alicia Sacramone, who sits in that bronze medal spot right now, because she is phenomenal. As with Chung Fei, she does 2 vaults. You see that 6.5, the highest level performed at these Olympic Games. Both of hers, same vault as Chung Fei. Wow. Well, a huge, powerful vault. Just the thing that we got to look at is where she actually lands, and whether it's only 1 or 2 feet that go out of bounds.
Well, 1 is definitive.
The line is in. If you step over the line, that is out of bounds. And that 3/10 deduction says that the judges felt that both feet landed outside of that line.
Still a very high score of 15.5.
Well, yeah.
Remember, a very high score for a vault that was 6.5 difficulty, same difficulty value here. And the same kind of landing problems.
But it's very key to mention that in women, unlike the men, what matters is where you initially land. If you step over the line after you've landed, you don't incur a penalty on top of that. That differs from the men.
Well, Alicia Sacramone knows the difficulty that Tim Daggett is talking about. She knows the numbers could knock her out of a medal. Meanwhile, Oksana Chusovitina knows this may be an amazing medal at the age of 33. Eun Jong-hong score when we come back. 2 less than perfect landings for Eun Jong-hong of the People's Republic of Korea, but a lot of wild stuff in the air. The news comes in, and it's very, very high. She's going to vault over everyone into the lead, 15.65. And by hundredths of a point now, that knocks Alicia Sacramone down to the dreaded 4th position. At the same time, Oksana Chusovitina at 33 moves closer to a medal here in the women's vault final. 2 more women to go. 2 women to go. This is the first. Jada Barbosa of Brazil. Brazil has never won. We saw earlier a miss by Diego Hippolito on floor exercise for the men. They've never won an Olympic gymnastics medal of any kind.
She was 3rd at last year's World Championships in the all-around, but is not doing the same difficulty as she did last year.
Whoa. And that was really close to putting her knees down. If that had happened, it would have been 0.8 of a point, and I believe that at least 1 foot landed outside of that line, which incurs at least 1/10 of a point deduction.
And Tim, we watched her last year at the World Championships. She is nowhere near the vaulter that she was last year. She actually did a much more difficult vault then, 2.5 twists, but here, just a double.
And if she had done that 2.5 twist, it would have been an additional 7/10 in start value.
Well, I am sure that Oksana Chusovitina is not wishing bad on anyone, but that just about guarantees her a medal now. Her insides must be exploding. That's a 14.725.
And that right there does guarantee Oksana a medal. No question about it, because this vault, it's even starts lower.
Yikes.
Wow, almost carbon copy landings.
And she knows it now, and so does Mihai Brescian. She just doesn't know what color it's going to be just yet. Silver or a bronze. 33 years of age. The last gymnast to go, Carlotta Giovannini of Italy. Look at Alicia Sacramone. She is out of that 3rd spot by hundredths of a point.
Wow. Little bit of a locked leg landing, which is a scary thing. Now, Al, I'll tell you, I can really empathize with Alicia Sacramone in the position she's in. It is the loneliest, worst position you can have at the Olympic Games. I placed 4th on high bar, and it's just really hard to handle being so close and just not quite good enough to finish in the medal.
Of a gold medal now in Hong Kong, Korea. Well, this is the first time where the Chinese have just not looked great. Chung Fei with that bad land, pretty good score. Final vault of the competition here, Carlotta Giovannini, after a 14.925.
And you could see up on that box, 5.9, a vault that's not that much more greater in difficulty than her first.
Whoa.
Gosh.
Oh, boy, that wasn't even close.
Well, now it is official. North Korea gets a gold medal. And they'll look back on those landings and say, was that really a gold medal vault?
Today it was.
And Oksana Chusovitina, this is a performance for the ages. In the future, we'll talk about how a 33-year-old in women's gymnastics could come and win a silver medal at these Beijing Games. And Alicia Sacramone is going to have to deal with the fact that those 2 landings, that's 0.2. She lost a medal by hundredths. And that is the story here in the women's vault final. Hundredths of a point.